How'd it feel out there?
It felt great. I think I I don't actually have a ton of history with the show personally, and so I went into this just kind of like, I don't know, maybe this isn't the right answer. I didn't really know what I was in for, which I think was really helpful, because so much of what I've been thinking about over the last couple months are just how to stay present in this experience. And because I think the first couple of years of me doing this, there was so much new information that my memory really suffered. And so I've been really thinking a lot about being present, and I felt very present tonight. I guess the way my story started is that I had this video of me put on the internet, and it went viral the day I graduated from college. So it's this really strange situation where I had been working for something my whole life. You know, I said on stage tonight, I've been writing and producing music for 10 years. And I'd been working for something my whole life, and then I sort of woke up one day and was famous. And it's not that simple, of course, but it also kind of is. I was at my parents' kitchen table, and I started getting text messages from friends about this thing that was happening. And I think when that happened, it was a lot of emotions all at once, but mostly it was really overwhelming. And I felt like there was this little snippet of me going to school that got put everywhere, and then it sort of became bigger than me. And I didn't ever get to really say, like, this is a finished song, this is how I want to present myself. It was like me in class presenting a song. So with the record, I felt like I got to finally tell the story of how it felt to be me then. And because I think that there were all these assumptions of this like perfect Cinderella story. You know, we tell these stories all the time in culture. We like to segment reality, but the way things actually feel are much more complicated than one emotion. Yes, it was joy and elation and my wildest dreams coming true in this perfect Cinderella story, but it's real life, so it also was really overwhelming at the same time. I think songs punctuate life. You know, I've always written to understand how I'm feeling about something, because I think I can talk to my friend, or I can write in my journal, or talk to a therapist, or call my mom, but as soon as I'm singing, I tell the truth. And I know when something hits in my voice, when it's the truth. And when it's that thing that I can't tell anyone else, but I know how to sing about it. And songwriting, for me, it always sort of happens very quickly. You know, it happens sort of all in one time in like 15 minutes. And I just sort of wait to catch the rain. So you asked me if Light On is a dance song. And right. I think that is kind of up to whoever's listening. My favorite kind of music allows you to process with your brain and your body, because I think different kinds of people feel in different ways and release in different ways, and I release in both. But it's in the same way that when someone hears a song, I listen to a lyric first, but some people listen to the beat, and different people need to be able to find their way in. Because I think ultimately, like, what I love about music and what I felt so much tonight is that music creates community, and it brings people together, and it shows people that they maybe have more in common than they might think. And in order to get to that space, you have to first access your feelings, which is maybe not a comfortable thing for everyone. I think so much about my songwriting process, or what I've chosen to do with my life, is it's a little bit crazy, because I have actively chosen to relive these super painful, intense, visceral, colorful, joyful moments over and over again every night. And in doing that, my vulnerability becomes my strongest superpower. Like, by telling everyone exactly how I feel, it feels like no one can hurt me. And tonight, I mean, I felt so free tonight, especially during the middle section. I just, like, at a certain point, I just started having fun with all this. You know, I think that's what this record is about too. You know, like, I was so overwhelmed for so long, and so just a little stressed. But I think so so much of what I went through now, you know, all this change in my life happened when I was like 22, 23. And now I'm a big bad 25. And I realized that a lot of what I went through is actually really age appropriate, like entering adulthood things. It just looked really different in the way that I did it, you know, like you graduate from college, you enter the workplace, you have your first job, you have to make new friends. That was me. I was just like backstage at a festival, not knowing anyone, you know, it just looked different.
So you describe something better than anyone else has in the years that I've talked to people about it, and that is this phenomenon of someone, you describe yourself as an introvert, and so many artists are, whether introverted or insecure or vulnerable, and yet what is it that drives them night after night after night to get on a stage in front of tens of thousands of people sometimes and just pour out every personal emotion from their hearts? But the way you describe it, it's in a way it's a healing thing. It empowers you.
Yeah, it's so healing. It so empowers me, but also it's like the closest thing I know to religion. Like I have to do it. Like, and in doing it, I have been thinking about this so much in playing music festivals, and also the bigger these venues get, like, why do we gather in these giant open fields? And I think everybody just wants to feel a part of something bigger than themselves. And in singing or connecting, it allows me to feel like I'm creating or that I'm a part of something. It feels so essential to now. I mean, what we're talking about, even where we are in the stage I played on tonight, it's about history and it's about tradition. But I think there's a reason I'm doing this right in this moment. And I think, you know, if you look up my bio or you check me out on any social media platform, it's pretty clear, like, what my views are on most things in the world just because I'm passionate. But I also think, you know, with music, it's really important. No matter what you think about our economic policy, everybody knows what it feels like to feel sad. And that is really, really crucial to create that space, I think. At its core, my songwriting hasn't changed. And my songwriting process is still really similar. I mean, sometimes I start with a synthesizer or a drum beat, but a lot of the times I start on piano and guitar. And what's more important to me than anything is that the bones of a song are really strong. But realistically, I started as a banjo player, and I started in these folk bands, and after a little while of producing folk music, I got bored, and I wanted new toys. So for a while I was in a punk band, and I was in a shoegazy rock band, and I DJ'd with a friend. But this trip you're referring to, I was studying abroad in college, and my instrument, like my favorite thing in the entire world is singing with people. Like, I will sing harmony all day. And because when I'm listening to music, it's the first thing. When I sing along with radio, I sing harmony. When I listen to a song, I listen to the words, and then I sing harmony. I had never thought about rhythm. Like, I had never listened to the difference between a snare in this song and a snare in that song, or paid attention to what the hi-hat's doing. And so much music there. The other part is culture. Like, I moved to New York City when I was 18, and so I thought going to a club meant, like, wearing heels and a dress to get into this, like, super high money club, whatever, and that's kind of not my vibe. But then I had a friend who told me I needed to wear sneakers to get into the club in Berlin, because then they would know that I was there to dance. And there was this respect and freedom, and it felt really emotional. And I was able to sort of have that sort of body release that we were talking about, of just being able to dance through something. And I felt like there was such space and respect to be able to do that. It made me really curious about if I brought that kind of rhythm to the songwriting that makes me feel so much already, then maybe I could be able to have this even greater release when I'm playing shows. It's the greatest compliment when somebody tells me that they came to my concert alone. Because for me, I used to go to shows alone when I really needed to just, like, be in my space and feel something, and that could be a dance show and it can be a folk show, but it's really nice when it can be both, I think.